We pray that this message blesses you and you can use it in your week, in your work, and in your family.
You are all in mighty fine voice this morning, I will say. And it's a wonderful privilege to be here. My name is Brendan, and I'd just like to also thank Renee and Shay for coming along today. And we were given the opportunity by Pastor Mark to come and to worship together, and also to share a little bit about worship. So I don't want to take too much time. I'd love to just continue to sing together. I believe that God deserves all glory, all honor and praise. And in the scheme of our life, we don't get the opportunity as the church together to sing and to worship, so I won't speak for too long. But this morning I just wanted to perhaps encourage you around worship. I'd like to maybe even challenge you a little bit around worship, if that's all right too, because I believe it's an important part of who we've been created to be, to give God glory, all honor and praise. The Bible talks a lot about if we don't, the rocks will themselves cry out. And I believe we're doing it, so I know in a lot of regards we're preaching to the choir, as it were. But I've sort of settled on worship for me in my life as acknowledging God and honoring Him. And so that's not specific to when we sing together. It is the reason that we do that. But I believe acknowledging God and honoring Him is something that we can do in all of our lives, that we would bring true worship to Him and live our lives in that sort of a way. And I know it can be easy to get swept up by the things of the world, but like as we've just sung, they would grow strangely dim in the light of His glory and His grace. And that's our focus, and I believe something that's so important. Worship can take place, obviously, around music in a personal way, you know, listening to songs in your own time, watching videos, maybe even picking up an instrument and playing with those who are around you. And it's also a beautiful thing to do corporately all together as the church. And something I'd like to just say is I believe one of the most profound things about worship is it stirs up our faith. It reminds us and sort of brings it to the front of our minds about God's greatness. I'll read from Psalm 103, just in the New King James Version. It says, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless His holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all His benefits, who forgives all your iniquities, who heals all your diseases, who redeems your life from destruction, who crowns you with loving kindness and tender mercies, who satisfies your mouth with good things, so that your youth is renewed like the eagles. The Lord executes righteousness and justice for all who are oppressed. He made known His ways to Moses, His acts to the children of Israel. The Lord is merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and abounding in mercy." And I find there's oftentimes in a lot of these Psalms that David will start in quite a negative way, and he'll continue to speak to himself, remind himself of who God is, His greatness, His glory, what He has done for us. And by the end of it, you know, he's singing and dancing around and doing whatever it is that David does. But I find that's just such an important part of when we worship and what it does for us in our life. The primary reason for worship and glorifying God is to give Him glory for all that He has done. But this amazing benefit for us is it just centers us. It realigns us. It brings us back into the truth. It helps us let go of the other stuff and be encouraged and stirred up in our faith. It changes our perspective. And I think that's really important because the world is trying to shift our perspective, and it's essential for us to just allow God to dictate that to us and to align with what He has to say. Another scripture I'd like to share with you is also from Psalms in 133. And it says, "Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious oil upon the head running down on the beard of Aaron running down on the edge of his garments. It is like the dew of Hermon descending upon the mountains of Zion, for there the Lord commands the blessing, life forevermore." Where there is unity, God demands a blessing, and He commands it. And I think when it comes to worshiping together as the church, it is such a unique and a special time because it unites us under one common purpose. Your hairstyle might be one thing, the way you dress might be another, your postcode might be another, but when we join together, brought together by the single shared purpose of giving God all glory and honor, it does something really special. It is something so unique, and I believe it is such an important part of what we do when we gather together as the church, because where there is unity, God commands that blessing. And I want to be part of a blessing that God commands for us, and it's such a simple instruction. Unite together. Let the other stuff fall to the side. And I'm very well aware that we have different opinions and different perspectives, different preferences, especially when it comes to worship. I like this song. I like that song. It's better when they sing in this key. I don't like his voice so much, I don't really feel like it today. There's so many different things that can challenge us around times of worship, but I would encourage you, let's not let the opportunity pass us by when we have this time together as a family of faith to glorify God's name. The one thing I'd like to challenge you with this morning, if it's all right, is what I was talking about there as far as having different perspectives and preferences and ideas about things. I have found in my life it is so easy to approach a time of worship and allow other things to affect how I am going to engage or how I am going to take part in what is taking place. Whether that be the week I've had, whether it be how hungry I am, whether it be someone else standing in the room who's distracting me, whether it be the song that is being sung. There are so many things that can try and take us away from that time and try and steal away that opportunity to be united together. And I'd just like to really challenge you, you're in control of that. Don't let that happen. Don't let it happen. I was joking with my family, and we talked about whether there was a song that was written, a beautiful song, a song I believe that was made to glorify God, but I just really struggle with personally. And for about a year at a church I previously went to, we sang the same song every Sunday. And I believe it's good, and many of you will know it. I'm not even going to sing it. I can't do it. And the challenge for me was, it is such a beautiful song, but I struggle to really engage with it personally because I'm sick and tired of it and I'm frustrated by it, and it just brings back a year of doing the same thing the same way. And I know that we all have different perspectives. This song's too fast, it's too jumpy, it's too loud, it's too, whatever it is. It was written too much in this century, like whatever. But I have really come to a point where I challenge myself, it's not about that. Let's just have a look at what this song is saying. Let's take everything else away, try and strip all the other emotions about this aside. Let's think about the truth that is being declared as we sing this song and engage with it like that. Because ultimately, everything we do when it comes to worship is an act of gratitude and gratefulness to God. If we come together knowing how He has changed our life, turned it around, how He was, I'm not going to start. We all have the story of what God has done in our life. If we sing and we take part in a time of worship together from a place of thankfulness and gratitude, everything else goes to the side. That's our main focus. And I believe that's what brings power to when we worship together, is that we do it united from a place of gratitude and thankfulness. Because then it won't matter what song it is. It won't matter where we are. It won't matter whatever else is going on. We will do it from that heart because we're so grateful. And I know some people do it reluctantly. I'm not blind to that. There are people who would prefer in a room full of other people not to sing, and I get that. But I think about someone whose life has truly been changed by the goodness of God, and I go, the only appropriate response is to be so incredibly grateful and thankful and to sing and to be glad for what it is that He's done for us. And so any time of worship that comes, I'd encourage you, let that be what fills your mind. Let it be what fills your heart. Don't think about anything else. Just take the opportunity to acknowledge, I was lost, and then you found me. I was broken, and you put me back together. And if we think about those things, it will just be an overflow of our heart. Whatever word it is that's being sung, it'll just be a reflection of how we feel in our heart. And I would encourage you, as we get the girls back up and we start to sing again, whether you know the song or not, engage with what's going on, sing your own song, say your own thing to God in the moment of just some music, because it's such a great opportunity we have, and let's not shy away from that. Let's not allow our own preferences or ideas or distractions hold us back from an opportunity to glorify God altogether and to unite together in one voice and to bring Him glory and praise.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget, download our app for a daily Bible reading plan to keep up to date with what's going on in our church family and more. Just search Life Christian Church AU in your app store.